What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of your favorite nerdy podcast where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially sports, comic books, movies, and anime. That podcast being Comic
X
X.
Weaver! Ha! Ha! Ha!
I'm your co-host, James, aka Comics for Cheap, aka hashtag Send It to James, aka how about that X-Men 97, though? And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy Chris, aka Dino. Hit me with the music. Black Santa, revere me, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge.
AKA. So I guess we just turning the NFL to flag football, man. I mean, seriously, this is getting out of control. AKA Super. Let him grab his water. It's a little far away.
Uh-oh.
Yo.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What? What's up? And I told y'all, make sure next week, as long as everything good, next week, super cold water gonna have something for y'all. It's gonna be some coldness. But wait till next week, because again, like we've been telling y'all, I mean, this mixtape is right around the corner. I mean, seriously, I was already talking to Kendrick about some stuff because he been going crazy. But I mean, it's right around the corner. I mean, because seriously, 2065 is like right around the corner. I mean, you blinking is there. But until then, we are sponsored today by nobody. We don't have no damn sponsors, but I'm telling y'all, it's coming close. It's almost there. It ain't here yet, but it's almost there. But until then, we are unsullied since 2021.
That's right. Hit that like button, whether live or on the replay. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Drop a comment or in the chat. We'll always get to you. And we appreciate the conversation. We always kick it off with a little bit of sports. I think that's what we're going to do today. I think we were talking a little bit backstage, so we're just going to continue that conversation with what's going on in the NFL. But first, I got to hit Chris with a little bit of Caleb Williams news, because that's just been
what's going on with Caleb? Because the only thing I've been looking into is that there's been a lot of talk of whether he's overrated or not. And I will say, because it looks like they are pretty much making this guy, like, I haven't seen a quarterback this highly scouted or rated or looked at since like Andrew Luck. And I don't think he's Andrew Luck talented, but I don't know. But what else is going on now?
Oh, he was just I think he was at like a basketball game, I would assume. I honestly don't even know. I just seen a video of him like kind of dancing in the seat or whatever. And he had like lipstick on and like a pink phone or some great. So people were like getting all like weird about it. And I was like, man, I think he's just doing anything he can to not get drafted by the Chicago Bears.
There's been a lot of talk about that. Because you're not. What's funny about it, you're not far from it. Because that's been a lot of the talk in the inner circles, man. That he is basically trying to do, what Eli Manning did when Eli was like, "Yo, if you guys draft me, I'm not going to play." And then that's what ended up getting him to the Giants. So interesting. There's talk about that because some people are calling him a diva already. And he
so he had earrings in as well. He had earrings in, and pink nails. He painted his nails pink, the lip gloss or lipstick on, pink phone and a pink wallet. So people aren't sure. Yeah. So I don't know if something's going on with Caleb, and he's just trying to send us a message there, or if he's just trying to like throw some shit out there just so teams look at him like he's a problem already, like out the gate, so that maybe he don't get drafted first. I don't know.
Well, I will say this, man. I mean, go on.
I was just gonna say, here's my thing. It don't matter if you get drafted, but I guess I don't know. I guess ego is gonna come into it a little bit, but you get that first number one overall pick. you gonna get that money. You gonna get them sponsorships. You gonna get that top salary you can get as a rookie. So I'll be like, damn, I want that number one spot, regardless of what team I'm going to. Because if they suck and I go 0-17 or whatever, it's just gonna be like, oh well, same as what happened with Bryce Young on the Panthers. It's just gonna be like, oh well, he didn't have a team, but he still made that couple $1,000,000.
Well, here's the thing, though. Look at Bryce Young and what people are calling him a bust. So if you want to avoid that, and you go to such a crap, because the Bears has been a really bad organization. The way they dealt with Justin Fields has been questionable and concerning.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't know if Justin Fields is a good quarterback whatsoever anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears didn't help him whatsoever. And they
No.
made things so much worse for him. And the
Right.
Bears organization is looked at as really, really bad. So if I can understand him not wanting to be drafted there in terms of if you care about your own legacy. And you really is all about winning, you're going to go to an organization that, I mean, the Bears just don't seem like they even want to win anymore. So, right. and especially, like I said earlier, with all the hype that's on this man right now. And again, I haven't seen this much hype in the quarterback since Andrew Luck. And again, I don't think he's as good as Andrew Luck. Okay. But if he goes to the Bears and they continue their bear ways, and because this ain't Yogi, this is Boo Boo, and they continue all that crap,
hey, boo boo,
and not get those picnic baskets.
That's
then
right.
He's going to be the one blamed for all that, and they're going to look at him and be like, "Well, this dude sucks. He's not as good as what people were saying he is. He is overrated. He's this and he's that." And I don't think he's mentally tough enough to handle that. So I think it's going to end up derailing his career, and it's going to break his confidence, and then it's going to be over. So I kind of get that, but I will say this too. If that's who he is, the lipstick, the pink, and all that stuff, as if it was a Nicki Minaj video or something, cool. If that's who he is, I don't really care. I mean, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy. So who cares? But if he is doing all that not to get drafted, then I do have a problem with that. Don't dress and act like that just to avoid being drafted. Be yourself. And honestly, just be a man. If you're going to be straight up like Eli Manning was. Yo, I'm not going to play. You draft me if you want to. I'm not going to play. You're going to have my rights, but it's going to go bad for you. If that's the sword you're going to stand on it. Be that guy. If not, prepare to be drafted by the Bears. They're going to draft you number one and try to figure something out to make that organization better. But
remind me again how Eli got away with this. So what would Caleb have to do? So if he was basically like, you can draft me if you want, but I'm not going to play. How would he get away with that, though, if he's under contract?
Well, I don't know how the rules are now, and it might have changed since how Eli did his thing. Basically, Eli just threatened him and said, I don't want to play, bro. And they was just like, this ain't worth it. And they traded him they traded the situation for Phillip Rivers. And, I mean, to be fair, well, depends on how you look at it. If it worked out for them or not, because the Chargers never won a championship, but Phillip Rivers' numbers, if you look at them base to base compared to Eli's, might be better, but Eli got to the Super Bowls. So it's a weird situation. But that's basically what his people told him straight up, yo, I'm not going to play. And they was just like, all right, fine. And they made a decision to do that. And other quarterbacks did that beforehand too, before Eli. So Eli just followed in suit on that and was like straight up with it. So I don't know and it basically going to boil down to if Eli wouldn't have played for however long, a couple of years, then they just would have like completely lost him. Maybe they could have franchised him, but still you would have had all those years of not having him there. And honestly, it was a bluff, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure Eli would have played. But, I mean...
I was going to say, like, how would he get paid if he's not playing?
He's not going to get paid. He wouldn't get paid. Now, he might get his guarantees if they sign him now. Because the guarantees are guaranteed. So if they was to sign him, he would get that. Because if they draft him, he still has to sign everything. So if you get drafted, you're still not technically there. Because they could technically be like, all right, screw this. So he still have to at least sign things because he's drafted to the team. So he would get his guarantees, but he probably wouldn't have signed anything. So he wouldn't have gotten nothing. He would have gotten nothing. So I
Okay.
mean, that's just a bluff. But
That's crazy.
both those teams are looking at it as we need to have a franchise quarterback. So we don't want to. Let's say he does do this, and we don't even get Eli. We're in a the same boat. We're in a bad situation. So let's try to get something out of this. And again,
Hmm.
I mean, Chargers had their windows, and they had many years where they could have won, and they just didn't. But it is what it is. But yeah, I just don't know about Caleb. I don't know about him. Yeah, last year at USC wasn't very good. The year before that, he won the Heisman, but last year was really bad. So I don't know. Started off okay, but then ended extremely bad. So I don't know about him, man.
Who else is like a top contender for number one overall, or like in that first top three conversation?
It's another quarterback. I cannot forget his. I forgot his name. Forgive me for that. But it's another quarterback. Of course, there's you got Marvin Harris Jr., a wide receiver out of Ohio State, but that's a
Okay.
wide receiver. You're trying to get a quarterback. So but Caleb is just looked at again. Like I said, it's Andrew Luck who was looked at as a big time quarterback who could change your franchise's future. A transcending player. He was looked at as that. I don't see it in Caleb right now. I don't see it. I do
Yeah.
think he's overrated. I think he's
Okay.
overhyped. I don't think
Okay.
he's bad, and I think he can be a great quarterback, but I don't see him as this transcending quarterback. I don't.
All right. There you go. All right. The other thing we have to talk about NFL wise, for
Mm.
sure. And I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
there's anything else, but for sure we have to talk about some of these rule changes that have come down over the last week.
Woo.
The first one that dropped on us was the hip drop tackle rule change, meaning that a defender can no longer wrap their arms around uh, an opponent with the ball and then basically, just like it sounds, drop their hip to the ground and use their weight to drag the player to the ground that way. In that way, usually it runs up on their calf or their knee or the ankle, something like that, and is responsible for a lot of injuries on the offense when the defender uses that particular technique to drop an opponent.
Mm.
Um, what do you think about that, Chris?
It is getting to a point where they keep changing these defensive rules, where it's like, where are they going to be able to hit them? Like,
Yeah,
how are they going to be bringing these guys down now? Because every time you turn around, the defense is getting hit harder and harder, while the offense is just it's showing that the NFL just wants scoring. Like, I
they
don't
want
even think
scoring.
it's about safety at this point anymore. I don't even believe it. It's bullshit. It's not about
Right,
safety. It's about how you can get people to watch more because of high scoring games.
right.
Because it's getting to a point where, seriously, I don't know how these defenders are going to be able to tackle people anymore, because it's rule after rule after rule after rule. You can't hit them here. You can't do this. You can't grab this. You can't do that. It's like, so how are they supposed to bring these guys down?
Yeah.
When they run up to them, please drop down, sir, please. Like, I mean, you're supposed to beg them, like beg to the Lord to have them trip. Like, what is supposed to happen here? It's getting ridiculous, and it's starting to get frustrating, because it's like, damn, man. I some of the highlights of growing up was seeing those Ray Lewis hits, seeing those defensive crazy. Remember what Brian Dawkins did to Reggie Bush?
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. No, I don't. It wasn't Brian Dawkins. It was No, who was it? Was it Brian Dawkins? No, Brian Dawkins was a running back, wasn't he? God, whatever. No, whatever. Either way, it was a play against Reggie Bush with the Eagles defender hit the crap out of him. That was amazing. So it's like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Dina, what are we doing?
It's gonna make it where I think coming into the league, or even for kids growing up, you're gonna have a harder and harder time finding talent on defense, because a lot of these kids and teens and college kids are basically looking at how the NFL continuously changes what you can and cannot do on defense, and also on top of that, hitting defensive players with exorbitant amounts in fines for normal ass tackles.
Yeah.
after the fact. Not even shows shit that's not even called on the field as a penalty is
Right.
getting hit with thousands and thousands of dollars of fines from the players' safety, whatever. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sam of the NFL,
Mm,
just hitting them with fines. So it's
mm-hmm.
like, why would I want to do that when I could play offense
Mm-hmm.
and not have to worry about that even a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So that's
I
that's
agree.
my that's my first thought. My
Mm-hmm.
second thought is, even though the hip drop in its pure definition isn't actually used a lot right now in the NFL, I think they were saying it's like less than 1% of the way tackles were made to begin with for
Right.
over the last season. Uh, it's going to become an interpretation call by the referees, which is
Mm-hmm.
just going to be very annoying when, it's coming down to the final minute on a drive, fourth and whatever. Oh, hip drop tackle, throw the flag, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. And it's like,
Yep.
really? But like, so it's going to be one of those where the announcers are just going to be jerking each other off, talking about what a hip drop tackle is, and oh my
Yeah.
god, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have to listen to that all year.
Of course.
Um, I don't know, man. Like, obviously, like clearly, what we know now about, I get the protection of the head and the neck
Mm-hmm.
is so obvious. Like that shouldn't even be argued, that we
Right.
need to protect the head and the neck.
Right.
The helmet to helmet contact, obviously, what like people want to complain, oh, whatever, in the 80s, you would fucking kill somebody on the field and nobody thought that it's like, all right, you also didn't wear helmets on like motorcycles back in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
we didn't have seatbelts in the 70s. Drinking and
Right.
driving was allowed in the 60s. You want to just be like, oh, well, that's not how we drove back in the 60s. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I'm with you. Yeah.
I understand certain actual protection and safety rule changes. I'm for that,
Right.
but on the other hand, I do think starts getting to a point where it is a little ridiculous, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
videos and memes of like laying a player down on bed sheets and pillow or
Exactly.
whatever. Like,
Gotta
I
get some
think we are
girls out
starting to
there,
get to
bro.
that
Make
point.
sure they get
Yeah.
down safely, man. Get some good rest. Nobody can get hurt.
So I think there's a fine line that we're walking every year, and it just seems like every year it's just becoming less of a line and more of, like you said, the NFL wants to see these high scoring games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true with a lot of sports. NBA, NHL, they want some high scoring games. They want more excitement going on too. But defense is a huge part of teams and games, and so also kind of what makes things so exciting when your defense comes up big. Fans are all about that too. They don't just want to see like a fucking 60 something point game, 60 to
Yeah.
50 or something. They want to make sure the
Exactly.
defense comes up strong too. So
NBA
I
is a
don't.
perfect example of that. We had a bunch of 60 score games. We had like a 60, a 70, a 50, a 60. We had all these high scoring games from different players, and it got the biggest debate came on, and it was from fans and from sports media. But a lot of fans, we was just like, yeah, this kind of sucks. Like it's cool when it's one or maybe two times, but when you start seeing it so much, it's like, oh, so we don't have defense whatsoever anymore, huh? Hell,
Right.
I was most hyped last night when my Lakers beat the Milwaukee Bucks. LeBron set out and AD just took over, and he had like 4 blocks. He got some 2 crucial blocks last night that got me more hyped than anything else that happened in the game, because
Gotcha.
those defensive plays that he did and what we was able to accomplish and win was just amazing. And it was double overtime. We was able to pull it out, and it was
Right.
great. And it was a lot of defense, especially from AD, who honestly I think should be defensive player of the year. AD
Okay.
has played so amazing this year, and I love what he gave. Of course, the big thing about AD always getting hurt, and yeah, he kind of got a little banged up last night, and he sat down for a little while, and they looked at his knee, but he went right back in there, and he was
Mhm.
one of the catalysts. Him and Austin Reeves, what are two big things? The hell, D'Lo, give D'Angelo Russell way more respect. This dude has been playing out of his mind since he didn't get traded. He
Out
has
of
been playing so
control.
good, so good. So yeah, I'm with you, man. The defense is still important. It's extremely important in its hype moments when you see good defensive plays, because you're gonna see scoring. You're gonna see scoring.
Scoring is inevitable. So even against like the
Exactly.
best defense in the world, you're like an offense is going to find a way to score.
Right.
I get that we don't want a whole bunch of games where it's like 3-0 or talking about football where it's like 3-0 or
Mhm.
7-3 or whatever.
Right.
Clearly, we don't want a whole season of that.
No, of course not.
But I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. There's so much talent on offense that I don't think even with the greatest of defenses and over the course of the season with fatigue and injuries, you're not going to have to worry about that. Are
Bingo.
there going to be several games that are 7-3
course.
or 10-10? Of course, it's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Like two very evenly matched teams. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
going to happen. But that's exciting too when that happens once in a while.
Right.
And like you said, I think that defense coming up huge can be almost as exciting in the course of the game as offense. So,
Bingo.
yeah, I'm with you.
Agree.
All right.
Agree.
The other rule change that the NFL has decided to drop, and I think this just came within the last 24 hours,
Mm.
is kickoff. So then now there's a new kickoff rule being implemented, and we were
And there's
reading this a
something
little
else.
bit, backstage. So I'm going to read through it again, just because it's so crazy and like such a huge change
Yeah.
that I'm just going to read through it to make sure I don't get anything incorrect.
All right.
So standard kicks will begin from the 35, just like they have been. But everything else apparently is going to be looking different. The 10 kick coverage players will line up at the opposing 40, with 5 on each side of the field. So the kickoff is from the 35, but everyone but the kicker is lining up on the 40. The return team will have 9 blockers lined up in the setup zone between the 30 and 35-yard line, with at least 7 of those players touching the 35. Up to 2 returners will be allowed inside the 20. Only the kicker and the 2 returners will be allowed to move until the ball hits the ground or is touched by a returner inside the 20. So up to this point, as soon as the ball is kicked, everyone's allowed to move. Now, until the ball is touched or it hits the ground, nobody can move.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of that right there is already crazy. We're
Yeah.
already looking at like with these speeds, these dudes can run 40 yards in 3 seconds. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you're gonna. Again, an offensive thing. This is for offense, and it's going to. You're gonna have some people just off muscle memory. It's gonna take something to get used to. So you're gonna have some people probably breaking that rule a little bit first couple of games because it's probably gonna be something to get used to. Or they,
Oh
it's gonna be
yeah,
a lot of practice
they're
drills to get them used
gonna
to
be
it.
running those special teams drills
Yeah,
nonstop. I feel like this off season, especially with this
so they don't
announcement.
get penalties. Hmm.
Right. Right. Okay. So now we're looking. So any kick that reaches the end zone in the air can be returned, or the receiving team can opt for a touchback and possession at the 30. So if the team catches the ball in the air in the end zone and kneels it, it's put at the 30 now instead of the 25, which if we remember from the last time they changed these rules, it used to be the 20. So now we've
Yeah.
come I feel like at some point we're just going to be like, all right, give them the ball at the 50.
Nah, screw that. Give them the ball at the other end zone.
Yeah. You know what? Automatic touchdown.
Automatic touchdown. Let's get some points out here, baby.
Oh shit. All right, so at the 30, any kick that reaches the end zone in the air, goes out of bounds or out the end zone, will also result in a touchback at the 30. So basically, they're not like they're not saying if you catch it in the end zone and kneel it, it'll be at the 30. So kickers are trying to kick it through the end zone. No, if you kick it through the end zone, it's also going to the 30. If the ball hits a returner or the ground before the end zone, and goes into the end zone, a touchback will be at the 20, or the kick can be returned. So if a kicker can land it at like the 5 and have a forward bounce where it's scooped up in the end zone and kneeled, now it's at the 20 instead of the 30.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
is like so much to fucking keep track of and remember
Yes.
already, and we're not even done. All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
If a kick goes out of bounds before the end zone or doesn't reach the landing zone, the return team gets the ball at the 40, which I don't think there's any change there. And I think that might be it. So I think that might be it actually. So there you
Okay.
go. So because then it was saying under current rules or under the previous rules that any touchback was going to the 25. But now there's no specification if there could be a fair catch outside of the end zone or if they took that rule away. So they may have just taken that rule away.
I don't know. This whole thing. If I was a player, man, this would be one of those things where I'm sitting here reading this. I'm just like, I'll just throw the thing away. Coach, you're gonna have to just explain this to me and just because I'm not reading all this. This is stupid.
Right.
And then after you explain it to me, you're gonna have to explain to me why this is even a thing. Like, oh, why? Oh, the dragon is here.
Dragon's in the house. He says, I think those rules come off the Madden 98 instruction manual.
Maybe he's right. It might be because I don't understand all this nonsense. This is just, man. Again, this is all about offense, man. This is all about scoring.
Yeah.
Because like you said, these guys can't even move until a player touches the ball. That type of, oh man, definitely you got some speed guys back there. Dude, they're guaranteed to almost always get this thing at the 50.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see because I mean now remember the rest of the everyone but the kicker. So either the kicker is gonna have to beef up and start getting ready to make some tackles, or
Ha!
everyone else is 5 yards ahead of where the ball is being kicked, so they're at the 40, which I feel like they were further back. I feel like they were at the 30 beforehand. So they're up closer. I don't know, man. You're talking about trying to reduce high collision or high speed collisions, but at this point you're letting them gain full speed before the collision now.
Yeah.
Because
I
instead of
don't know, man.
coming out of the end zone and the defense is already at the 20 or the 15 where you're going to have to make a move to get around them or figure it out or just take the touchback. Now they start running when you catch the ball. You start running when you catch the ball. Both of y'all are, running 40 yards within 3 or 4 seconds. So you're meeting, somewhere around the 20, probably 25. But now instead of meeting where, you're making a move, so they're kind of slowing down. No, now y'all are really meeting at full speed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Neither. I don't know.
I don't know whose idea this was, but they need to be fired.
I agree with that. That's the one thing I didn't.
Fired. Fired.
Man, that's just dumb.
This new rule eliminates the possibility of surprise onside kicks, by the way. So you can't have a surprise onside kick. Trailing teams will have to declare their intention to attempt an onside kick in the fourth quarter, and those will be conducted under the same rules that had previously been put in place, which means that there will continue to never be a successful onside kick.
Yeah.
And let's see. There have only been 5 successful onside kicks in the last 5 seasons. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, there you go. The only other notable changes involve tweaks to the instant replay system. Teams now get a third challenge if one of their first 2 challenges is successful instead of both. And a few more types of plays are subject to replay. There were less than a dozen games in the regular season and playoffs last season where a coach used both challenges and was successful only on one.
Yeah. That's a
So
fine one. I'm cool with that one. That's cool.
yeah, I mean, with the
Okay.
advancements and cameras and all that kind of stuff, like it's gonna. The only sport where I'm surprised it doesn't come more into play is baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just sometimes, people kind of get tired of the instant replay rule in baseball because of how long certain games can be. And it's like, well, now this is even dragging it. So,
I just don't even think we need a behind the plate umpire.
mm, maybe, maybe.
Except to see if he's safe at home, if like a runner is safe at home. I think that's the only reason we need a behind the plate umpire, and even that can be fucking an overhead camera can take care of that too. But the strike
Yeah.
zone should be automatic. They should like these days, you know what I mean? There should just be
Yeah,
a
man,
fucking
yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
why bother?
Why
Just eliminate human error altogether.
bother? Get rid of humans. Just get the robots in there.
Yeah. You know
That's all
what?
we need.
Why do we even have real people playing baseball anymore? Just get some robots in there and see
That's
what we
right.
can do.
Get the home runs really back then. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
Robots on steroids.
Yo, last season that robot was not as big as he is now. What the hell
Yeah.
happened, man?
Yeah, that dude's been hitting the gym like crazy, bro.
They've been oiling him really up, man. What is
Yeah, that's
going
right.
on
That
here?
WD-40, he's been
That
coming in
WD 40
really
been
strong.
too much of that shit.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
Lord.
That's ridiculous. All right. I think we're good with NFL.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk anything about March Madness? Has anything crazy been going on? I haven't been following it
It's gonna
all.
be interesting. We got the big game on Friday when it comes down to Purdue and Gonzaga, because honestly, if I had to pick a team, I would probably pick Purdue to win the whole
Okay.
thing. So
Oh,
with
okay.
them against Gonzaga, that should be an interesting big time game. And it's gonna be interesting to see if Gonzaga can finally get the job done on their end and
Mm,
actually win the whole damn thing instead of always, being Gonzaga. Um, UNC versus Alabama. That's an interesting one, and that's tomorrow. So we got
okay.
some interesting games. Sweet 16 should be really fun.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
and I'm excited to see who actually gets out of where, and even that Iowa State game is interesting. It's a lot of interesting games. It's gonna be a lot of interesting games now.
For sure. For sure. Anything crazy though, notable that's happened so far, or is just we're looking forward to
Nothing too
games coming
crazy
up
outside of Kentucky losing, which was like,
in the first round, right?
yeah, that was kind of just like, Calipari, you pay this guy all this money. He did give you one championship, but you pay him all this money and all the top players this dude has had, the Anthony Davises, and that's when he won that championship.
Mm-hmm.
The John Walls, the Boogie Cousins, like all these big time players, Derrick Rose, this dude has had on his roster, and yet you only won it when you had Anthony Davis. You only got one championship. Like
Mm.
what's going on here? And losing so early on in the playoffs is like, bro, son ain't right here. So that was the biggest one for me, at least.
Vinyl says, nah, bro, they need to just make a prison league pay-per-view with players having spikes on the cleats that are sharp as fuck, shanks, and just anything goes. You can even play Crossroads as the main theme.
Um,
What?
no. I am not
This is
signing up
not
to watch that mess.
this is not Jason Statham's Death Race. What the
Yeah,
fuck are we talking
yeah,
about right now?
yeah. Yeah, nah, I'm good with that. I'd rather have the NFL what it is now than that. That's a little too much
Shit.
for me.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, my buddy Ian is a huge Kansas fan, and he was all like, "What the hell about them being out in the first round?" So that's the only reason I knew that. But otherwise, I really haven't been keeping up with everything that's been going on, March Madness wise,
Yeah. No, I got you.
because hockey playoffs are about to start, and that's what's been keeping my attention. The Rangers clinched the spot in the playoffs already. Hell yeah. First
Hell
team to
yeah,
hit
indeed.
100 points in the season,
Go
and they
Rangers.
are in the playoffs. So we got the New York Rangers going. Carolina is so close behind them. I think they're only trailing by 1 point right now.
Okay.
And so everything is like super close, especially in that division. But they are a very close second place, and it's going to be really hard to watch these playoffs go down because obviously I'm a huge Rangers fan, But I'm also a big Carolina fan, so it's like, if both of them win their first rounds, they have to face each other in the second round, and that's always like, ah, man, it's
Yeah,
hard. It's hard to watch that.
indeed, indeed, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Okay, there we go. Hell yeah.
There you go. All right, I think we're out of sports. Unless you had anything else to add.
No, that's it on sports wise.
Okay. All right. So now we got. Let's see what we got. We got to talk. We have 2 trailers coming up. I've got. We have obviously the X-Men '97 show that's been happening. I
Mhm.
haven't watched the 3rd episode that dropped today, but I'm going to watch it this evening. But the first
How
2
you like
episodes
it?
I thought were super straight. I
Okay,
thought they were really good.
okay,
Um, they basically picked right up where the show left off, and a lot of focus on Magneto. Uh,
good.
I hear that there is or I know, I don't want to spoil too much, but I don't know what happened in this 3rd episode, but I think Mr. Sinister is coming to play with everything that's going on. So I'm pretty excited about that. And just overall, I think a lot of people are enjoying it. I know I enjoyed it, and probably one of the better things that Disney Plus has put out since its inception.
Well, there we go. About damn time you got something. Got a whole lot of garbage they've been putting out, so it's good to have something. That's good.
For sure, for sure.
That's good.
Have you watched it at all, or
I have not. I will be watching it on my next day off, but as of right
okay?
now, I have not watched anything just yet.
Okay. All right. Oh,
Not yet.
Vinyl says Sinister and some Brood. Oh, okay. Brood
Oh,
Queen.
nice. Okay. A
A little bit of Brood action.
little bit of brood action, man. Hell yeah.
All right. Cool. 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 I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Um, and then as far as Invincible goes, I have watched the 2 episodes that have come
Hmm.
out that are new. And as always, I'm always looking forward to the next piece of Invincible that I can get. I just ordered the 3 compendiums uh, recently, so I'm very excited to get those in so I can just sit down and read through. So I don't have to wait on the Amazon Prime show no more. Although I hear that the show is starting to branch off a little bit from the comics. So it could still, be exciting or interesting because you don't know what's going to happen. Because I hear that they are kind of branching off a little bit.
Right.
Have you caught up on Invincible yet?
I have not. I have
No,
not.
so I can't
I
even
tell you,
talk
man,
about
it's
anything.
been
Okay,
so much work, man. It's been so much
I
work,
know.
man. I've been dying at it, just working, man.
Dying
Just
with the job. Dying with the job.
done with the job, man. But don't worry. Next week I'll be able to be like, yeah, I'm all caught up. But
Okay. Well, I don't
this
want to
week,
spoil anything with that. I know you have read the series, but I still
mm-hmm.
don't want to talk about it because I don't know what's possibly different.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, so I all I could tell you is that it's great, and I can't wait for some more. And I'm just looking forward to it continuing.
Good. That's always good to hear. God knows that's good to hear. I do want to say this super quick too, though, man.
Yeah.
What I have been able to do, because even today, man, I started it and I couldn't stop. Dragon Dogma 2 has recently been released, and I played it. Played it this morning, and this was my one day, my day off. Man, I could not stop. I couldn't put it down.
Okay.
Like my goodness, like even right now, it's still technically on. Um, like I have enjoyed the hell out of this game. I know there was a big scrutiny. A lot of people was upset because of the frame rate issues and the quote unquote microtransactions. People was upset about that.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it got thrown into the mud a little bit. But man, you play the game. It's an amazing, fun game. Um, I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Like I've enjoyed the hell out of this game. Matter of fact, I haven't had this much fun. It's not as high as Elden Ring was in terms of my fun level, but I haven't had fun like this since Elden Ring. Um,
Okay.
like this has been amazing. Like I had a crap load of fun, obviously with Starfield and some other games that came out, but man, this has been really really fun. But on the microtransactions things, everybody got an opinion on it. Mine is like I don't necessarily support microtransactions, but I just don't care about them. Some people was upset saying that, well, Dragon Dogma, what they did was they waited until the game was released and then they activated the microtransactions and they didn't tell anybody about it and blah blah blah. That's a lie because they actually did. It was sent out to some certain game reviewers, and they chose not to say it. But at the same time, it wasn't like they was hiding anything or trying to be sneaky. If you look at what the microtransactions are, you can literally get all the items in the game. They're pretty much one-time use buys, and nothing is, because some people are like, well, it's paid to win. None of it is. None of it whatsoever is paid to win.
Okay.
Anything you get on a microtransaction is not gonna change the game for you in such a huge way. It's just not. It's no weapons. It's no armors. It's nothing like that. It's stuff that you can get in game, but it can help out new players a little bit. So personally, I don't have an issue with it. It's not that big of a deal, but a lot of people was upset about it, and people gotta understand something. Capcom has always done this. Some of the, like, it's so funny because like Monster Hunter, which is huge and gigantic, microtransactions all over. Hell, the Resident Evil 4 remake that came out on the next level, gens and consoles and blah blah blah, microtransaction heavy. Devil May Cry 5, microtransactions. So I mean, like Capcom, Street Fighter 6, which won Fighting Game of the Year when it came out, microtransactions. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think people blow it out of proportion and make too much out of nothing. It's not a big deal because some people are like, oh my God, it's so disgusting. You guys use that word for everything. Like, it's not disgusting. It's not a big deal whatsoever. But that's just my opinion on it.
I think with the game, like how you're describing, where you don't necessarily have to do it to get a unreasonable advantage, or like you say, pay to win type of situation. Uh, yeah, if it's just kind of like there to help you out on the way along, if you're too lazy to do it all in game, or you don't want to take the time to do it, or whatever, then yeah, I don't see a problem with that. But when it does become the issue for me personally, is where like, oh yeah, like there's no other way to get this. This is the only way. You have to pay, this, and this to like be among the top, whatever of the game, and to really beat it, or to really be able to win without like fighting with it for
Yeah.
weeks on end, that kind of a thing.
And it's just
So
not
yeah.
like that. And the biggest issue I have, honestly, was the lies that came out in terms of like some people sending articles out. Just to fast travel, you have to spend money. It's not true whatsoever. And there was
Mhm.
so many stories like that coming out and had people believing that garbage, which is not true whatsoever. Because one, the item that you can get that does help you with fast traveling, you still need to get a fairy stone. You still need to get another item that you have to get in game to combine them to even use the fast travel thing. So it's not like this thing gives you instantly and allows you to fast travel all over the place. It doesn't. You still need to get other stuff that's in game that you can't buy. So it was like just the lies from so many articles is what really made me angry about it. It was like, dude, you're not even accurately saying what's happening. You're
Right.
just making it and piling on things to make it seem worse than what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, people just gotta understand. Honestly, we're in this age where you're going to get microtransactions, you're going to get DLC, you're going to get that. That's not going away.
Right.
And it's the same thing. And my biggest thing is like people want to complain about this. Okay, this is a single player game. And to me, I've always said you spend your money however way you want to. If you want to buy everything that comes out of Microsoft, I do not care. It is your money. You can spend it however you want to. But what about Get Your Impact, where you got all these people, and this is a multiplayer, somewhat multiplayer game pretty much, but you got all these people who will buy and spend whatever amounts of money for their waifu's skimpy skirts and to make their little waifu look hot. They'll spend their money on that. No one's saying anything about that. Well, that's a gotcha game. Well, it's, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Like, fucking calm the fuck down.
Vinyl says that microtransactions killed Battlefront though.
Well, there was a
That's
lot of things that killed Battlefront, and microtransactions probably didn't help. But there was a whole lot of things that killed that before micro. Like it's what it is. What it is. It's not
mhm.
going anywhere. That stuff is gonna be there. Like it's never
Yeah.
going anywhere. Like this is
Yeah.
the era of what we're in.
I feel you. I agree. It's unfortunate, but that is where we're at right now.
All right.
With yeah, it's the where these companies are like, oh, just because you bought the game doesn't mean you own it.
Yeah. No, that's definitely for sure. That is 100% facts right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just because you bought the game doesn't mean you really bought the game. You
Yep.
still have to pay more money to play the game. So
Yep. As
yeah,
well as if you like something and the developers don't, they can instantly change it. And there's nothing you can do about it.
which is crazy.
It is crazy to me. So
Bring
there we go.
back the cartridge. Bring
Yep.
back the cartridge.
Bring back the cartridge. No, seriously, don't. That technology is really bad, actually. But yeah.
Shit. All right, I have a couple trailers, but
All right.
unless you have something that we want to hear
No,
first.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Okay, all right. So we got one trailer. It's actually two teaser trailers, so they're not even full trailers. But the first one I have for us is for the Penguin from HBO
Okay,
Max.
about time. All right, about time for this one. All right.
That's what I was thinking too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. Let's go ahead and load it up. Penguin official teaser, and let's do it.
When I was a kid, there was a gangster, real old school type, Rex Calabrese. He was a big deal. He helped people. He saw you on the street, he'd call out to you. When I'm 14 or something, he has a heart attack and dies. Still holding a cigar. In my neighborhood, they throw a parade in his honor. A friggin' parade. I mean, it wasn't fancy, but it was a gesture. A show of love. What he meant. Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. No release date, right? No date to. Did it have a release date? It didn't have a release date there, right?
Let's see. The Penguin show release. Right now, yeah, they're just saying 2024.
Okay.
So sometime in the next 9 months. Here's where I'm at with that. So that I thought that teaser was all right. You know, it was.
Yeah, it was all right. I agree.
Yeah. But if Matt Reeves, who did the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, if he truly wants to do a street level or like continue with this street level Batman, like no paranormal, whatever, there is no better place to show it than this show.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point there. Okay, I feel you on that.
The Penguin is 100% that like greasy mob. Like he really don't have no supernatural bullshit. If we're not talking about the Danny DeVito where he was like born weird type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking about the Colin Farrell, like this, new Penguin. Yeah, Cobblepot and the gangsters. They're like, that could be a really good show if they do it correctly. If it's really like mob shit, Falcone, Maroni, and this other dude that they're talking about, where he's reminiscing on gangsters, and he's like a full on like gangster battle, like turf war type fucking show. That would be dope.
Nah, I'm with you, man. I fully agree with you on that. So
that's Final
excitement.
Final says, I'm disappointed they didn't approach me as an extra for Penguin.
I'm disappointed too. My man should have been up there, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
we would have got up in there too, just because association. We with him.
That's right. Yeah.
So damn, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Damn, man, we could have been his henchmen. Like he could have been henchmen, and we could have been his henchmen. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, damn. But either way, no, it's excitement to see how they do it, especially from what you just said. And hopefully, if you're gonna show that street level stuff, Penguin is the perfect guy to go with, and it would be awesome if they do that. But the trailer was just It wasn't anything special. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay.
Definitely just a teaser.
It was just a teaser. To me, it did what it needed to do, but it wasn't anything special. But it was It was okay.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, like I said, I mean, if we're gonna, especially if we're gonna have to hold out hope now through 2026 for a new Batman movie, which is what we talked about last week, where they delayed the movie yet again to 2026.
Yep.
Which still leaves plenty of opportunity for them to delay it even further.
Yep. Sure.
We are gonna need something to tie this over in that universe, because yet again we have multiple universes within this DC realm. Where it's like within not even just Elseworld, like the Joker movie and the new Joker movie, and then we have Batman. Now we have James Gunn DC universe versus Matt Reeves Batman. So with all this other stuff going on, yeah, we need something to tie this over in this particular universe, and this is the perfect opportunity and show to do so. So yeah, I mean, even if it's noir style and similar to how we got the first movie, I'm all right with that. But we just need that like down and dirty turf war gangster. Show us why Gotham City is a feared city to be in. Show, yeah.
Yeah, this ain't Metropolis, hands down. Agree.
Yeah, it ain't Metropolis. It's not Central City.
Nope.
This is Gotham.
This is Gotham.
Show us why this is Gotham.
Why it's the most feared, like you said. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
All right. So our second teaser trailer is Michael Keaton returning as Beetlejuice. We have Beetlejuice teaser coming up.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and get that loaded.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Daylight come and we want to go. Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want to go. Me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day. Daylight come and we want to go.
The juice is loose.
Is that an OJ reference?
Oh man, somebody. Oh no, wait, that's the mask. Oh man, that's something. Okay, I mean, they tried to OJ reference. They tried to.
Bro, he said the juice is loose. That sounds like OJ to me.
Sounds like OJ to me too, man. That was man. I mean, it doesn't.
I don't know why we need I don't know why we need another Beetlejuice, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, to me, if you was gonna go there, it should have made it even more creepier. And maybe it will be. It's just a teaser, but I'm saying to me, it got to be even crazier and more creepier. But outside of that, if it's not that, yeah, I don't see a reason for this.
I mean, Beetlejuice wasn't even that creepy, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Just make it interesting.
Yeah, it was more like I don't know. It was a weird comedy, but it was. I don't know. I get that it's like a cult classic and people ride Tim Burton's dick for like everything that he does. For me personally, Beetlejuice was kind of like middle of the pack for everything that I mean, obviously his Batman was classic. You can't
Okay.
argue with that. Nightmare Before Christmas, classic.
Yeah.
Coraline was decent with what he did, but Neil Gaiman was the real mastermind of that. And then yeah, I mean Beetlejuice comes kind of like down below all of that. So
Okay.
for me anyway. I mean
Yeah.
that's just for me. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a while, but that's just how I kind of remember it.
Me
So
too.
I don't
Because I can't fully even remember. I remember like certain scenes and
yeah.
not much else. I don't even really remember the plot of the last. I don't even remember the plot. Um.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, I mean, we're getting some returning cast members. We're getting some new cast members. Jenna Ortega looks exactly like how Winona Ryder looked in the first one, which is kind of funny. So, as far as casting goes, I guess they did a good job with that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. I hope Jenna Ortega is careful not to get typecast because she's doing this a lot of these same types of roles, these like paranormal weird goth girl roles that she's doing, and that's only gonna last so long while she stays youngish looking.
Right.
So yeah. No hate on Jenna Ortega though. I mean she's done a good job with everything she's done, but you can
Well, I
easily
mean,
you can
if she
easily get
enjoys
trapped
it,
into that role.
if
And
she
then
enjoys it, and that's what she wants to do, then I guess it won't be that much of an issue. But if she wants to branch out, then it could be. So I guess we'll see.
well it's a matter of once you hit 30, man. Start getting that gray in the hair.
Well, I mean, well, you got to remember this is a different era though now though. Like, definitely with the stuff that she's gonna be privileged to, she's gonna be able to as long as she don't get on drugs and keep herself right, she can probably keep that thing going to the 40s. Honestly, the way things are now. Um,
40s.
yeah, yeah,
40s. Chris.
absolutely,
You're crazy.
absolutely, James,
Chris.
absolutely.
No, it's ridiculous. This is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
Ha! Ha!
Play
Oh man.
play the young goth girl until you're 40. That's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. You sure can, man. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I am not very excited for Beetlejuice 2, I gotta tell you.
I mean, I just don't even care.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I'm definitely not seeing it in theaters. This is not a
No,
lineup, get dressed up and go see this movie type of thing.
no.
I've written a punchline with Beetlejuice in it, and that's about it. Back in my writing days for the old hip hop game,
Mm-hmm.
when I said that someone needed to give me a little head like Beetlejuice from the end of the fucking
Nice.
movie. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry,
about
man.
it.
You be dusting it off on a mixtape, so
Oh,
it's all
that's right.
good.
That's right. 2065 right around the corner.
Yeah, bruh.
You'll be hearing
Yeah,
the
bruh.
geriatric verse from
Yeah,
your boy. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That feature spot.
That's what I'm
Uh,
talking about, man.
yo, Vinyl, here we go. Vinyl says comics is doing well at 45. Thank you. I appreciate that. You just aged me by over 12 years, but that's cool.
But
That's
it's
cool,
all
bro.
good, though. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all good.
it's
No
all good.
worries.
It's all
No
good.
worries.
No worries.
According to Black Santa, 40 is the new 20, so it's all good.
I mean, honestly, it is. I'm dead serious. Yo, I'm dead. Yo, look at something, man. I'm telling you, man, it definitely is. You look at some of these girls and you look at them and you be like, man, you'll think they're a lot younger than what they is. They like 38, 40, 42. And it's like, oh, man, you look great.
Well, okay, they can look great, but what I'm saying is they can't play like that's like, Tobey Maguire now playing teenage high school Spider-Man, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Like there's certain roles you just
I'm just
can't
saying,
continue
man.
doing.
Don't disrespect Toby like that, man. I believe in him. He can do it.
You
Suit
said
up.
don't disrespect
Don't
Toby.
disrespect that man like that. Yeah, he can do it, man.
I guess he's still the same height, so I guess there's that aspect going for
Yeah,
him.
man.
But nah, nah, you can't. You just can't have a 40-year-old playing 20-year-old roles. It's not. You can't do it.
All right. All right. You heard it
And
from
there's nothing wrong with being 40 and looking like you're 40. There's nothing
nothing wrong
wrong
with
with
that
it.
at all. I never said it was. I never
Okay,
said it was,
all right. I'm just making sure we're on the same page as I continue looking in the mirror and be like, damn, there's more gray spots.
I knew it.
There's
See,
more.
you was brushing it right there. You were taking a brushful thing there. Damn.
Like I noticed like the gray is starting to come into like my facial hair or
Yeah.
along my chin. And then
Mhm.
I noticed that like a month or two ago. And then I looked in the mirror the other day and now it's like it's creeping up over here on my jawline too. And I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
I
to be
mean,
shaving every day now.
maybe that's just the joy of being black. I haven't really changed too much in 10 years. So I mean,
That's true, but that what black don't crack. But then once you do go gray, you go white immediately.
Oh, completely, bro. Everything out of
There's like
nowhere.
no in
Yeah.
between.
It's like the saying race, bro. Once you hit 80 and everything, you just look old as shit. It all breaks down. It's like, oh.
I'm just gradually watching the gray take over. Yours like you're gonna wake up one day and be like, "Fuck, it's hit me."
Yeah, that's man. Damn it, it's here. Shit.
Oh shit,
All right.
that's funny. All right, anything else you got for us this week, Chris?
Nah, man, I think that's it, brother.
All right. Well, we will call it there. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Again, hit that like button for us. It makes us feel happy and special. Live or on the replay, hit us with some comments in this in the section below. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that usual bullshit.
Do it.
And yeah, we'll catch you next week. As always, stay villainous and